Thanks for staying with us. So, we're still celebrating Eid al-Fitr, and whilst we're still trying to get our Muslim brothers and sisters to call us in, I think we have an update from Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osanyintolu at the site of the three-story building that came down. Okay. Hello, sir. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, so we've been getting some mixed information and data on what happened with the three-story building. Multiple figures have been coming out. Could you give us specifically the numbers that were rescued, hospital, and those unfortunately that died? And what's the update right now with the story building? Has it been totally pulled down, or we still have rescuers still there?
Well, the operation is ongoing. The incident occurred around 10:56 p.m. yesterday. Okay. And since then, all the combined team, all the key stakeholders that are important in managing emergency have been on the ground. The team was led by the Honorable Commissioner of Special Duties, Engineer Bangoshe Martins. With these combined efforts, we were able to rescue 20 people alive. Oh. Out of the 20 people that were rescued alive, 2 sustained severe injuries, and they have been referred to Lagos State Teaching Hospital for further treatment. However, it is important to note that we recovered 8 bodies. Oh. 8 bodies. Now, the most important thing that we need to gather from this incident, 1, the government stakeholders, the LAPSCA, in as much that we sympathize with those people that lost their beloved ones in this incident, it is important to note that the government has sealed the place up and they have compelled the people living in this building to leave the place, and the building was marked. Oh. Secondly, when all the emergency responders were on the ground, we have tough time with the area boys in that place. We have to beef up our security apparatus, and this was led by the RRS and the task force. And the crowd control initially was poor, but within 30 minutes we got there, we are able to surmount it. And it is important to note that our operation was swift, prompt, effective, and efficient. And
that's not what we read on social media. What we read on social media was that you hadn't gotten there at least an hour. I mean, first of all, is that correct? Could you verify? What time did your men get to the site?
No. That is what we are saying, that dissemination of information was poor and false. That's one of the challenges. People giving different conflicting information. Wow. But because we got there early, that's why we are able to save 22 people from the rubble. 22 were saved from the rubble. 21 male and 1 female. And the operation that commenced yesterday is still ongoing. We are still on the ground. So you can see that some information given at the social media were false.
Okay, sir. Is there any indication that there are more people in the rubble, or are you done with that rescue?
Now, you see, the most important thing is that there were no indications we are here now, because we've used sophisticated equipment that detects live bodies under the rubble. We've used it. But you see, there are a lot of information that we are gathering, that there are some people are still in there, some people are still there. So we want to ensure that we got to the ground zero completely. We are on ground zero in some parts. There are some parts that we are not yet there. But very soon, in all the quadrants, we are going to be in ground zero. And we will ensure that we are in ground zero in all the quadrants before we leave the place.
Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, because of the way social media, I know you said it is misinformation. Were people rescued before your team got there? Was there already rescue mission by...
We rescue them. I have informed our good people of Lagos State that we work with 3 responders: the local emergency responders, the secondary responders, and the tertiary responders. And all these people were on the ground.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what we are saying. Any information concerning emergency or disaster in Lagos State should be channeled to the Honorable Commissioner of Information, Honorable Commissioner of Special Duties, or my humble self. These are the
your
people
emergency numbers working, sir? Because people may not be able to reach you directly. The emergency numbers, are they still effective? Because people were saying they had problems reaching out to the emergency services.
Oh, you see, the emergency number is working perfectly. We have the 767 or 112 and my own phone number. If you call me, you can text me. Secondly, we are now using the traffic radio number. So you can call the traffic radio station. They will link up with other key stakeholders that are important in emergency management.
Okay. So let's go back to the information you gave us concerning the fact that this place was already sealed, because that is really worrisome that the 8 confirmed dead were preventable deaths if people had complied with the seal order. What can people do? Because we cannot expect security officials to be at every sealed building. What can we as citizens do to prevent these cases? How would you want us to help governments in preventing these kind of things from happening?
Number one, you need to inform the good people of Lagos State that they need to abide with the rules and regulations. These rules and regulations is for their well-being. When the government has sealed the place, when the government have informed them that they need to leave the place, some people comply with this information, while some people did not comply with this information. So these are the problems. Yeah, we are experts.
Yeah. Okay, sir. You know, I believe sometimes why we don't see that form of compliance is the fact that they don't have an option. They don't know where to go. They don't have where to go. Shouldn't we also be talking to government? If a building is sealed, can't they find like an alternative shelter for the time being, at least?
Now, let me tell you something. That is not tenable. That assumption is not tenable. You see, the point is this. In Nigeria, especially at Southwest and Lagos, we are brothers or sisters keepers. We have churches, we have social welfare in local government that they can use. There is a lot of means that they can use. They can go to their relative, they can go to their local government, they can approach the social welfare. So there are a lot of organizations that they can meet that will assist them. So for them to be seeing something that is a death trap and putting the life of their children into it is not acceptable. It's unacceptable at all.
At this point, I'll let you go because I think we still need to bring the commissioner in charge here, because the truth is that BC asked a very valid question. Many people don't have the means to move. They don't have family members. So when your house is marked for demolition, what is the time frame between the time it's marked, the time it's going to be demolished? What time do you have to leave? What time do the government rebuild? Those are small questions that Nigerians need to ask.
Because when we notice this, and we notice all the signs, the building can come down anytime. Nobody can say, oh, in less than 24 hours, the building will not come down. Because there are indicators. If the indicators are on the red light, the best person is that when we give you this early warning, you need to abide with this early warning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doctor. I'll let you go at this time. As I said, this question is primarily for the commissioners in charge. And thank you very much. You can disconnect the call.
You said before I go.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Okay, sir.
We need to emphasize that the area boys need to change their attitude. There must be a sort of sensitization. There must be something you need to inform them that whenever we are working, they should give way. That's number one. Because we experienced this thing yesterday, where the area boys are throwing stones, the area boys want to dominate, the area boys does not want us to use sophisticated equipment. And now, about 5 days ago, yes, 5 days ago, around Isolo area, when a tanker overturned, they were demanding money from us that we should pay 500,000 before we could walk. So all of us need to come together and condemn this act.
No,
we need to sensitize people that they should not use that approach, which is very, very important.
Dr. Osanyintolu, but you are in the government, and we know that the good boys of Lagos have leaders who relate with the government. The good boys of Lagos are not on the street because they feel like being on the street. They are on the street because people put them on the street. They remit. So they have the chain of command for the good boys of Lagos. Yeah. So if you are an official...
These are not the usual area, but these are upside. These are new type of people. And that's why I'm shouting loud and clear. These are new set of people that they don't have leaders. They don't have people that we need, we can report to.
Doctor,
we've informed the police. We've informed the police. But in as much that we are talking about enforcement, we need to carry out sensitization and enlightenment and condemn this act in a total way that is highly unacceptable.
Wow. Thank you very much, Dr. Oke-Osanyintolu, for giving us an update. This is an important factor he just raised. This area boys that's we can't seem to have no leaders. How to get, because what we thought that the local government is in charge of these. I mean, everybody belongs to a local government. They sleep somewhere, right? Sure. They have wards. So there are people in charge. So there are people that can reach these people. So the media is one avenue to reach out to them, but the real crux of it is that there are local leaders whose responsibility it is to ensure that these boys are curtailed, their actions are curtailed. So it's a whole kind of worms. I'm not sure I want to talk about it this morning, but it's something we're going to bring to the right doorstep. The point I was trying to make earlier, however, was that there is somebody in charge that says that this building is marked for demolition. Now, that's a warning. Yes. What the government should do is that, okay, once I mark you for demolition, in the next 8 weeks, I'm going to come to demolish. Okay. Because when you leave the building standing, people will still go there. When they realize that the building is just there, they just marked it there, nothing's happened, they'll go back there because they don't have anywhere else to go. Right. So they're likely to go back there. Yes. So what we're saying is that once you mark something for demolition, demolish it.
Yeah, demolish it. And what's the time frame? So after the marking, before the demolition happens, do you go back to check?
How many houses would they check?
No.
How many houses would they check? Because when they mark for demolition, let me quickly put this out there. When they mark for demolition, if the state demolishes your house for you, you forfeit it. You forfeit the land. Yeah. So marking for demolition, the expectation is that the owner of the house should process the demolition so that you can rebuild on your land, your property. Oh, that's but when the state, because when the state demolish for you, I read it in the papers that when the state comes to demolish your house or your building collapse and the state is demolishing and evacuating the land, you are forfeited the property. So once they mark it should initiate the conversation of I will demolish it, because if the state is demolishing, they take possession. Oh, yes. That's why different information. Yes, we need to get the real.
Nigerians don't understand. Once you put something X on something, they just say,
no, there are different types of X's. We also need somebody to explain the X, because there is X of stop work, come and say to us, and there is X of you have not paid your bills, and there is X of
they use X for
demolish.
Everything.
So maybe they should change the colors of the X so that the X of demolition could be red. This is a house that has been sealed for demolition. Is unmistakable that this is demolition, because these are 8 lives that would have survived if they were not in that house at the time.
We need a review.
So we need to discuss it further another time. We're going to bring in experts on this, and so we're clear on what it means, because really these 8 lives do not need to die. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to another segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.